Hi, sorry about that. It's like as soon as my cat hears that Christmas music, she's like, "Oh, time to go bother my human." You hear her in the background? Jesus. No, kitty, no. Okay. I will be turning the camera on shortly. I'm just trying to get ready for work. And this last little thing I gotta really do that needs my concentration, and then I'm done. Okay. Oh shoot, I don't have it on YouTube. Okay, what do you want, cat? Huh? Oh, I know you're so cute. How is everyone? I hope you are all well. I don't have a super long time today because I do have to be to work in an hour, but I thought while I get ready, I could do what I said I was going to do last night and stream, although I meant to stream a little earlier, but things got away from me. Oh my God, this cat is so freaking cute. I can't take it. I can't take it. You're so cute. Okay. So live chat, there you go. Hey, Tammy Sue. Hey, Rainey. Hey, Christy. So for those of you who were not here last night, I started to read some of the recent court filings for the Without a Crystal Ball and 7M lawsuit. And I thought I'd just pick up where I left off today mostly. I also want to try and touch on 7M's filing, because I mostly just read Katie and her side's filing last night. Like I read her affidavit and I started to read the memorandum from the attorneys, or from her side basically. And that's the one that's 69 pages long, and we get to page 30. So, but I do want to also touch on, because I didn't read much of any of 7M's filing. So I mostly just, when I skimmed through it before I streamed, I mostly just looked at Katie's. And wait 1 second, I'm just trying to put my eyelash on. I had my new ones. Now, I wish that they made like really decent washable ones that didn't cost an arm and a leg. I don't know, fake hair just seems like a frivolous expense these days, especially for my eyes. So, but anyway, so what do I got pulled up here? It's okay, it's that side. Declaration of why did I pull that up? I already read that one. It's Amber Stavix, and all right, so I'll leave it up to you guys. All right, do we want to pick up where I left off and finish the Katie's side of the memorandum? That'll be a 1. Or 2 if you want me to read something from 7M side. So do I have enough people in here for a vote, first of all? Hi, Taboo Topics. So let me know what I'm doing, and I will start doing it. How is everyone today? I hope this was a Thursday. Oh, wow, weekend's almost here. Oh, my God. It seems like it was just Sunday, like yesterday, or today even. All right. Where's my phone? Hey, Vivian, how are you? What is poking me in the eye? The hell? I cleaned these lashes before I put them on, but I could feel something in my eye. Driving me nuts. Oh, I'll wash that eventually. All right, so I'm going to head on over to 7M side then. And if that seems to be boring, then I'll pick up where I left off last night. So we have the affidavit of Amber Stavik, or the memorandum, plaintiff's memorandum. And they're not, neither one's really long. So, oh, this is just listing the exhibits. All right, so I think we're going to pass by this one. Actually, no, we'll read some of the posts that they have up here. So those are videos. I'm going to share a screen in just a second. I know I'm not sharing at the moment. All right, so All right, so this is the affidavit of attorney, so of Amber. And it's just, if you see here on the side, it's just a list of exhibits, pretty much evidence. So I don't even know what page am I on. I'm on page 8, so right here. So these are the posts. This is where the posts start, and you can read some of the posts. I read that one last night, but this one here. Sutter Homes says they don't partner with B- and Miranda. The ad they posted was from August, so did they work for them then? Because that matters, apparently. Okay, then next we have from 3/16/2022. There are a lot of accusations by contacting brands we're harming the. Oh wait, we did read that one. I was saying that's right. This is the most disturbing audio I found so far. The worship team was sharing memories of their time at the church. They were preparing to move to the building they are in now. They shared about how God, through Robert, healed someone's broken back, someone's broken sprained ankle, etc. Then the same woman talks about how Robert waterboarded Dom. I remember that audio. She was clearly like joking when she said that. She was baptized. That's what she was calling waterboarding. So all those times when you've heard Katie claim that the Robert shouldn't abuses the parishioners / clients or whatever, and to the point that he waterboards them, she was talking about him baptizing members of his church. Like that's crazy. Okay, sorry. All right, there. All right, internet, do your thing. Yep, Forever 21. Trying to end that brand deal. All right, I'm going to jump on over to the other one. This one. So let me just skim through it real quick. Make sure that there's no address things or whatever that I might accidentally show, which I don't think there are, but it only takes one time to screw up. Okay, usually on the first couple pages or on the last pages. And I'm not seeing anything. Okay. There we go. So, plaintiff's memorandum of law in support of its motion for summary judgment. So this is where 7M side pretty much make their argument on why there should be a summary judgment and why it should rule in their favor. And the memorandum submitted by plaintiffs, yada, yada. Undisputed statements of facts. James is a performer. Okay, everyone agrees to these certain things. Robert Shin was trained as a medical doctor. Yes, everyone's in agreement there. Let's see. Also, the CEO of the ministry. It's a management company. Yep. Okay. 7M performed the duties of a management company for the Derricks by negotiating contracts and managing relationships between the Derricks and companies looking for brand collaborations. 7M handled payment management by accepting payment from the brand, then cutting a check for the amount minus the management costs to the Derricks. The Derricks were in control of and responsible for publishing brand content to their social media pages. The Derricks were further responsible for all stylistic choices not dictated by the associated brand for social media posts. Defendant Paulson is a self-proclaimed investigative reporter. Yes, I think we can all agree on that. She's definitely self-proclaimed. Who owns and operates without a crystal ball. She posts digital content across many platforms. She does not have a degree in journalism nor any formal training regarding her claims to be an investigative reporter. The extent of defendant's journalistic training involves some general writing classes in college and reading online articles on journalistic ethics. Apparently, I'm seeing this too here, Paulson Depot. I'm guessing that this is all information obtained through her deposition. So this is what she told. This is what she told those asking during the depositions, is that she learned how to write by taking general college course writing classes and from some online pieces of information regarding ethics. Think about that for a second. She's saying that she learned ethics from the internet. Let that sink in for a minute. Like, that's, I'm not saying it can't be done, but I'm saying that when it comes to someone's reputation or a lot of someone's reputations, I'd much rather that the quote unquote reporter obtain their ethical rules and guidelines from, I don't know, a more vetted and verifiable source than the internet, maybe. That's just me, though. Defendant monetizes her social media content, receives revenue for ads on her YouTube videos and Meta. Okay. She began posting about plaintiffs on February 27th, stating that Ms. Derrick was lured into a church, that 7M is using religion to control her and other performers' time, money, and resources. 1 second. Okay. The 7M and the church are separate entities. Defendant posted that 7M dancers don't pick their own music, sets, clothes, or dances. On March, okay, so she started on the February 27th. And remember, this was 2022, so it was not a leap year, okay? So there was only 28 days in February. So we go from February 27th with only 28 days to March 2nd. And she's already saying the plaintiffs are involved in a cult and their behaviors were compared to Jim Jones and R. Kelly. Defendant stated Mr. Shin has been accused by multiple women of various SA allegations. Defendant has posted that Mr. Shin, through 7M, does not let Miranda Derrick use her own vehicle or go out in public without monitoring. Now, we're talking 4 days, dude. 4 days, if that, 3 possibly. I think I'm being generous by giving it 4 days. That's it. That's all the time she needed to jump to those conclusions and to report them as fact to as many people as she could reach. 4 days, man. I mean, she even says that she didn't know the Wilkins or anything before. Oh no, wait, no, that's not. So from the time she watched the video, it was what, the 24th? So we're talking 8 days. That's when she learned of 7M. She learned of the Wilkins and everything was on the 24th. So she went from the 24th to March 2nd, with 28 days in February, mind you, to this conclusion. From her first reporting to this conclusion is 4 days. Let's see. Defendant posted that the Derricks were not legally married. Defendant posted that members of the Shekinah Church told her that the Derricks were instructed to be married by Mr. Shin, but was unable to provide any evidence or name anyone that told her that information prior to her reporting. Huh. Wait a minute. Prior to her reporting. Okay. Oh, I see. Okay. Defendant stated that 7M does not promote its female clients, but is unable to provide any evidence of this. See, that's nuts. Of course they're promoting, and like, even if you're trying to shame someone or trying to ruin their reputation, it's just a little ridiculous because we're talking about visual content. Anyone who actually wants to be successful in producing and providing visual content, if they have women, especially women who look like these dancers, they're gonna fucking promote them. Probably more than the men. I would argue that I bet the men probably felt pushed to the side oftentimes when it came to promotion such as that. So for her to say that they're just not promoting their women, like, that's crazy. I mean, this is Hollywood. And also too, like, she claims that they're exploiting and like objectifying the women. Well, how the fuck are they doing that if they're not promoting the women? You know, it doesn't make sense. Defendant posted that the lives are so tightly controlled and blocking their families from contacting them. No one from 7M has had access to Mr. Derrick's bank account. Defendant commented on Mr. Derek's Instagram that she contacted the Clippers and told them not to take the job with 7M. Did she really do that? Did she? This is J. Derek. Okay, so James Derek has made that claim during his deposition. The defendant commented on Mr. Dick's. I totally see her doing that. I mean, I'd be surprised if this were not true, actually, but it's crazy. Okay, affidavit. Defendant stated on March 5th that her views on her social media content regarding plaintiffs were doing really well. A cease and desist letter was sent to defendant by plaintiff's counsel on March 10th. They requested she stop posting false statements. Well, they were on that shit pretty quick. I didn't realize that. I thought that the 7M just didn't really pay her any mind or attention for like the longest time. I didn't realize that they were on her that quick. Stop posting false statements about plaintiffs. Defendant continues to post about plaintiffs to date. Defendant considers herself a public figure, but prior to posting about plaintiffs, she was rather anonymous. Okay, on March 16th, defendant posted that Sutter Homes Wine does not partner with the Derricks. Moreover, she posted that Mr. Shin is hurting the dancers and controls the Derricks' housing, money, and time without having any evidence to back up her false claims. Sorry, I'm just trying to brush my hair out. Defendant posted where Ms. Derrick currently lives, and a portion of the address was visible in the post. Defendant claims that the post about Miranda's home address was to report on Mr. Shin. I remember that too, because even people who were staunch supporters of her were kind of giving her shit for that. She's like, well, it's okay if you're doing it from a place of reporting. I can't report the story without providing all the story. That was her argument. And it's no one needs to know the address, unless people are interested in buying the home, in which case they can contact the realtor. The Derricks control their own housing, and defendant admits seeing their social media posts stating that they have full autonomy over their housing. Wait, what? Oh, okay. And this is seeing them, the plaintiff stating in the social media post that they have full autonomy over the housing. Okay. Defendant posted that MAC Cosmetics was not partnered with 7M. Okay. See, we're March 24th. We're now just 1 month from when the Wilkins video went up on Instagram. 1 month. Defendant reposted a 7M video for a brand deal with Forever 21, stating, "Internet, do your thing," encouraging her followers to harass them and get their brand deals canceled. Yeah. I mean, how else would you have taken that? I mean, even if you didn't follow Katie Joy, how else would you have taken that? Defendant posted that Mr. Shin was forcing Ms. Derrick to fast because it is one of his teachings when she got a brand deal with Do Fasting app. She also stated in her Instagram story that Mr. Shin and Mr. Derrick abandoned their children after speaking only with his ex-wife and not contacting plaintiffs for comment. Oh, so she didn't even contact them? I mean, isn't that something that she's always claimed to have done, is she lets people know, which, I mean, we all know is bullshit. Anyone who's been on the receiving end of her quote unquote reporting knows that no contact, no offers ever laid out for you. Defendant says she emailed and commented on plaintiff's posts, and no one ever responded. Oh, so that's how she's saying she commented. Oh, so she's claiming that her efforts in contacting them for I don't know, statement or whatever was her posting aggressively dickish things in their comment section. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Because don't you all remember when Barbara Walters did that? Come on. That's totally a reporter's thing to do. It's just to go into their comment section and just tell them how they're a piece of shit and their chosen way of life is nothing but a cult and brainwashing them. Hey, do you have a statement, by the way? I mean, I can't imagine why that didn't work. Defendant has posted on Instagram Live about plaintiffs while drinking wine, but claims she never made a social media post while drinking alcohol. What? She did not say that. Did she really say? Paulson Depot? I don't. Which? Okay, so it's the one after the statement. Okay, right? Yeah, I think. I don't know, but either way, Paulson Depot. Either way, it's surrounded by Paulson Depot. So that's She claims that in her her deposition that she's never made a social media post while drinking or drunk. Okay. I mean, if that were true, then we never would have seen her online throughout most of 2019 or 2020, and probably since then, but I don't know. And I say this knowing damn well that I do the same exact thing myself, and I'm not judging. I'm not. And not at all. She has every right to do it. In fact, why wouldn't you? If you're sitting down having a couple glasses of wine or whatever else, why wouldn't you sit there and post something? That's perfectly acceptable, in my opinion. It's the denying and lying about it that just seems very strange to me, you know? All right, I'm checking chat here real quick while I just finish brushing my hair. Ow. Okay. All right, nothing this. A little bit of dry shampoo can't fix. I'll do that later. Well, freaking out again. I don't know why. All right. Let's see here in chat. Hi, Christy. Hi, Rainey. Hey, Tammy Sue. Hey, Vivian. Hi, Bobby and Gizmo. And taboo topics, of course. Hi. Okay. Oh, shoot. I never did that either. Wait, I just got to do one thing here. Okay, there we go. All right. Mr. Derek lost deals with various brands, including Sutter Home Wine. The athletic company, Stronger. The Keto app, after defendants' false statements were posted on social media. Oh, wow. That was by Miranda's testimony. Ms. Derek lost brand collaborations ended. Last brand collaboration ended in July 2024. Mr. Derek had an increase in negative comments on his social media profiles after they all did. Miranda still has an increase of them. After defendants' false and defamatory statements about him, Mr. Derek currently has 1.7 million Instagram followers. Yeah, a lot of followers. We get that. Okay. Defendant claims her posts are not motivated by financial interests, as she stands by her reporting, quote unquote reporting, even after being sued and stated being sued is a, quote, badge of honor. All right. A party may move for a summary judgment, identifying each claim or defense, or the part of each claim or defense on which summary judgment is sought. The court shall grant summary judgment if the movement shows that there is no genuine issue as to any material fact, and the movement is entitled to judgment as a matter of law. Summary judgment is appropriate, quote, when the pleadings, depositions, answers to interrogatories, and admissions on file, together with the affidavits, if any, show that there is no genuine issue of material fact and that either party is entitled to a judgment as a matter of law. On a motion for summary judgment, the moving party bears the initial burden of identifying those portions of the record that demonstrate the absence of a genuine issue of material. A party opposing summary judgment, quote, must do more than rest on the mere averments. I'm not sure how to pronounce that. I don't have time to look it up right now. Instead, it must establish a genuine issue of material fact with substantial evidence. There is no genuine issue of material fact if the evidence presented would not, quote, permit reasonable persons to draw different conclusions. Okay. What's this insert? Affirming the grant of summary judgment because, quote, reasonable persons could not draw different conclusions, unquote, based on the, quote, 3 pieces of evidence, end quote, submitted to support plaintiff's claim. So I guess I'm assuming, I think, I'm even assuming incorrectly, but that means that they need what, like 3 pieces of evidence to support a claim? And then if they have that, then I think what they're saying is, what's the point of going to a trial? We have everything right here. So let's just skip ahead to all that and, give us our ruling, maybe. Okay. Plaintiff's motion for defamation. Plaintiff's motion for summary judgment could be granted on count 1 for defamation, as there is no genuine dispute of material fact, and plaintiffs are entitled to judgment as a matter of law. The elements of common law defamation in Minnesota are that defendants, 1, made a false statement, 2, to someone other than the plaintiffs, and 3, that statement tended to harm plaintiff's reputation and lower them in estimation in the community. Yeah. Okay. I don't really want to read much of the law or whatever. I want to read the specifics of this case. Okay. Defendant made false statements about plaintiff. First, plaintiffs have presented overwhelming evidence that defendant made numerous false and defamatory statements about them across multiple social media platforms. For example, defendant posted that 7M dancers' lives are so tightly controlled and 7M is blocking their family from contacting them and controls their bank accounts. No one from 7M has ever had access to Ms. Derrick's bank account, nor do they block people from contacting their family. Defendant also falsely accused 7M and Mr. Shim of using humans, we'll just say, despite being able to provide any factual evidence to support these baseless claims. Moreover, defendant published that the Derricks were not legally married to each other. The Derricks were, in fact, legally married to each other. All right, this is weird. Tell me, okay, so for those who were here last night, and I read stuff from the Katie's Joy side, okay? And I don't know if it was the attorney or if it was Katie's, I think it was maybe the attorneys, I think it was the memorandum. The memorandum said something to the effect of, defendant does not report things falsely or knowingly false. Yes, she gets things wrong at times like anyone else or whatever. And then they gave an example of her having done that. And the example they gave was when she said that she didn't believe that they were married. And I thought, out of all the examples that they could have given, why give that one? Like, there's so many other examples. I mean, but whatever. I figured they probably picked that one because it was like, easily provable or whatever. I don't know. But now I find it so weird that the other side is pulling up and using the same exact circumstance to make their case. It reads almost as if one side was tipped off what the other side was doing. But I guess it is possible that both sides just happen to pick the same instance, but I don't know. I don't believe in coincidence that much. Okay. The Derricks were in fact legally married to each other. Defendant has set forth no facts to support this claim, and the Derricks were not that the Derricks were not legally married. Okay. All right. Second, 2, defendants made these false statements to third parties. Second, the false statements made by defendant were widely disseminated to third parties through defendant's social media accounts, which include YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Threads, TikTok, and X, formerly Twitter. Defendant's platform reaches hundreds of thousands, if not millions, of followers, exposing defendant's statements to a significant and ongoing audience. As defendant's posts on social media were made not just to third parties, but to millions of third parties, plaintiffs have met their burden of proof that defendants made false statements to third parties. A, the false statements were made by defendant with malice or reckless disregard for the truth of matter asserted. Given the extreme nature of these statements, which include statements of fact regarding criminal conduct, the absence of credible evidence to support them, and defendant's failure to check her sources or provide any, in some cases, defendant's statements were made with actual malice. To this, I have to say, I think that is wholeheartedly, absolutely true. Just knowing what when she was reporting Vada Jade for allegedly being behind all these harassing emails and false reports to various government agencies and everything, and which prompted Katie to go for the TRO. After reading what she said during this shit, she absolutely did this, because when she reported this for her TRO and to investigate the county investigator, she said that Robert Shin was behind this. She blamed this on Robert Shin and said that, like, it was myself, Vada, and a few other people, Rabbit, that we all worked for Robert Shin. That's what she said. And she had nothing to back that up. I know she had nothing to back that up because it's not true. But she said it anyway. So, and that would constitute as a third party too, even. I'm just saying. Anyway. Defendant's false statements furthered her own financial interest by monetizing the web traffic from these sensational and false claims. Further, defendant has stated that she wants to see Mr. Shin held criminally accountable. Yeah, she helped. I think she helped create. I'm not positive if she helped create, but she at least most definitely helped promote a petition to have LA County law enforcement investigate him for numerous things. Like, it's crazy. Defendants have, without a doubt, acted with reckless disregard for the truth in her posts regarding plaintiffs and utilized the web traffic from those statements to financially enrich herself. Defendants' actions and failure to properly secure sources for the statements made and do basic fact-checking meets the standard of actual malice. Let me go down here. 3, plaintiffs are not contending that they are public figures, merely that without going into a factual dispute about whether they are public figures or not, that defendants' actions still meet the heightened burden as if they were public figures. Okay. 3, the false statements made by defendant were the type that tend to harm plaintiffs and lower their estimation in the community. 3rd, defendants' false and defamatory statements have caused significant harm to plaintiffs' reputations and professional lives. The Derricks rely on their social media presence for income through brand deals, sponsorships, and collaborations. As a result of the false and damaging statements made by defendant, plaintiffs suffered a substantial loss of social media followers, which has directly impacted their earning potential. Ms. Derrick's following on Instagram dropped after defendant's defamatory statements began to circulate, and she lost multiple lucrative brand deals, including Sutter Home Wine, Stronger Athletic, and the Keto app. The Derricks experienced a decrease in income from brand collaborations, earning less in 2023 than in 2021. Defendant's refusal to take down the defamatory content, despite receiving a cease and desist letter, continues to cause ongoing harm to plaintiffs. Her actions, including promoting false narratives about plaintiffs, have exacerbated the harm caused by her defamatory campaign. As a direct and proximate result of defendant's false and defamatory statements, plaintiffs suffered damages to their reputation and business. Plaintiff has proven its burden of proof in showing all the elements of defamation are met, and there are no genuine material facts in question, is that what it says? In dispute with respect to the false statements, and plaintiffs are entitled to judgment as a matter of fact or a matter of law. Okay, defamation per se. Plaintiffs are entitled to judgment on defamation per se, as with count 1, and there is again no genuine issue of material fact. Statements are defamatory per se if they falsely accuse a person of a crime, or if they refer to improper or incompetent conduct involving a person's business, trade, or profession. For a false accusation of a crime, quote, the words need not carry upon their face a direct imputation of crime. It is sufficient if the words spoken in their ordinary acceptance would naturally and presumably be understood in the connection and under the circumstances in which they are used to impute a charge of crime. In other words, they don't have to come out and say, that person right there did X, Y, and Z. It can just be enough to insinuate, to hint, to suggest that the person did X, Y, and Z. So in other words, they're saying that even context can bring that about. If the defamatory statement, quote, affects the plaintiff in his business, trade, profession, office, or calling, it is defamation per se, and, quote, thus actionable without any proof of actual damages. The defamatory statements must, quote, relate to the person in his professional capacity and not merely as an individual without regard to his profession. I'd say that that's all met. I mean, I'm not a lawyer or judge or whatever, but I mean, I don't think you need to be for this section here. It's she did it, you know. Here, defendant accused plaintiffs of involvement in a cult, specifically targeting their relationship with Mr. Shin and 7M in association. Okay. Oh, and an association that's falsely portrayed as criminal and involving moral turpitude, including human trafficking. That an essay. Defendant called Mr. Shin that. Okay. These statements imply criminal activity by suggesting that plaintiffs were engaged in a cult associated with criminal behavior, including abuse, fraud, and exploitation. These are statements that, in their natural meaning and context, would be understood by the police as accusations of crime, specifically where Ms. Paulson states that 7M is engaged in fraud, human exploitation, and abuse. I'm trying to be creative with the words here for the algorithm. Where the statements of criminal activity made by defendant are false, the defamation per se standard is satisfied. Okay, let's go with that. The false accusations made by defendant were not just an attack on plaintiff's character. They were intended to convey the notion that plaintiffs were involved in criminal conduct. This is sufficient to meet the definition of defamation per se under Minnesota law. Yeah, because she wasn't just like trying to harm them professionally. She was trying to ruin their lives. She was trying to cancel them, like, in every regard. I know, Michael. I see the time. All right. All you gotta do is get dressed. Okay. In addition to accusing plaintiffs of criminal conduct, the defamatory statements made by defendant also directly affected plaintiff's professional reputation, business, and trade. Defendant's false statements damaged Mr. Shin and the Derricks' professional reputations, including their work with 7M, which directly impacted their ability to conduct business. Plaintiffs were subjected to being shunned and avoided by potential business partners, colleagues, and others in the industry due to the false and defamatory accusations made by defendant. And to that, I say it's so much bigger, I think, than people realize. Because, like, how much of your future work can stem out of one contract, one event? You know, like if you're dancing at one award show or you're going on tour with someone, whatever the case may be, how many potential future gigs can you get from that one just through networking? I mean, networking is such a huge part of this business. You if you don't have these opportunities, then you don't get to network, really, at least not as often or as well. So like one dancing at one award show, let's say, could have granted Miranda with who knows how many future gigs just by her meeting the right person there at that time. And if she's being shunned, then that's not going to happen. So yeah, I think in this profession, probably more so than many others, is that missing out on one event can be the make or break thing for someone's career. their effect on their business relationships was so severe that it injured their ability to conduct their professional activities, leading to financial loss, reputational harm, and the closing of 7M Films Incorporated. Well, she got it. She canceled the dance thing, I guess. Yep. 7M is no longer in business, as the last answer to take off 7M from their social media was in May 2024. Yeah, I'm not going to go over all of this. I don't know. Oh, wait. Okay, a contract existed between plaintiffs and third parties. Here, the first requirement is meant as plaintiffs had contracts with several third parties for various purposes. Yada, yada. Defendant knew about plaintiff's contract with third parties. Second, defendant knew of these contracts between plaintiff and third parties as evidenced by the fact that she frequently referenced these third parties in her social media posts discussing their association with plaintiffs and admitted she knew about them in her deposition. Therefore, defendant had the requisite knowledge to meet the burden. 3, defendant intentionally procured a breach of contract between plaintiffs and third parties. Procured. Why did I say procured? Okay, whatever. Defendant intentionally procured a breach of the contracts between plaintiffs and third parties and continues to disparage any company who is known to have a contract with plaintiffs, including the LA Clippers, Forever 21, and MAC Cosmetics. I'm curious to know if any of these, if someone from any one of those 3 entities there will be asked or required to give a statement on things. I don't know. Maybe they were. I just don't know about it yet, but I don't know. I'm curious. Defendant continues to use social media to direct her followers to direct third parties to cancel those contracts with plaintiffs and to convince third parties not to enter into contracts with plaintiffs. Defendant admits in her posts on how plaintiffs are in a cult, engaged in criminal activity, and should be sent to jail, has specifically directed her followers to, quote, unquote, do their thing to plaintiffs and those associated with them. She has further admitted encouraging people to boycott. All right, and then I am going to have to wrap this up because I have to go get dressed. And then I have to go to work. I'm sorry I couldn't be here longer. I wanted to start sooner, but I couldn't, so I'm sorry. But hey, everyone. Hi, Shannon. Hey, Liz Lou. Hey, Reagan. Hey, Tammy Sue. All right. So thanks for everyone for being here. I don't think I'm going to be posting or streaming tonight unless I get out of work at a decent hour, but I'm scheduled to like midnight, so I'm not holding my breath. And tomorrow I'm working a long day, and then Saturday, really long day. So I may not be back on until Sunday, but if I do come on again before then, it would be tonight. So, all right, guys, thanks for being here. I'll see you later. Have a good day or evening, whatever it is outside. Bye.